In this video, I will show you the first 3 months of making my own video game company, the truth, the challenges, but also the first successes, so stay until the end. Hi, my name is Steven, the main man behind SteveGamesStudios, and if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, because on this channel I make community-driven games, so you can interact, we will make a great game together, and you are being rewarded for your help, so make sure to subscribe, so you can be part of the revolution. But for now, let's not waste any more time, because I will show you now the first 3 months of making my own video game company, the whole truth behind it. So let's get straight into the topic. So because this is my first recap here on the channel, I just wanted to mention the reasons why I even started this whole company and what the vision behind SteveGamesStudios is. The first and most obvious one, and that is just my pure passion for gaming at all. I've been a gamer all my life, and this is one of the few things that have been really consistent in my life. When it came to the question what I want to do with my future, my dream became clear. I want to stay in the industry. But because I'm not even close being an esportler, I needed a way to figure out how else I can have a job in this industry, so I will be always connected to my passion. And once I have been thinking about this question, it hit me. I want to make games. The first game that I've made was with 12 in school with a game engine Scratch. And it's not the game aspect alone that brought me to the decision that I want to make games. It's also the feeling that you can create something really fast, really good. Every one of you out there can just install a program, write a few lines of code, and then within an hour you have your first app or your first game created. That is something really special about programming in general, and that is also a reason why I stick to the dream, because it's just a special feeling that I get every time when my code works and the game feels fun. Those are just some of the reasons why I love making games and why I decided with the age of 16 that I want to make this in the future. I then figured out that I not only want to make games, but I also want to make my own games with my own company. I quickly started researching about the current problems in the gaming industry. And one thing that I always read was the sentence, gaming isn't fun anymore. I even made a video about it here on this YouTube channel. It has a lot of comments, a lot of likes, so you can definitely check it out if you feel the same way. So after figuring it out, I thought to myself, what could be the solution to this problem? And I quickly came with the idea of community-driven development. So what this basically means is that you can create a game with me too, without any programming languages. I have already published a pretty simple game concept, which we will come to in a second. But what I really want to highlight here is the factor that the game concept is pretty open, and I really want to give you the opportunity to develop the game with me, with your ideas and general engagement. This is also an opportunity for you to show that you can do it better than the big companies in the industry. But it's not only that I just steal your ideas from the comments. Another special aspect of SteveGamesStudios is also the rewarding for your ideas. When I will see that you are actively here in the community, that your ideas are good and other people like the ideas, I will implement them and reward you in the game. So you will be, for example, a part of the credits, or you even can be a real part of the actual game. So those are the reasons and the actual vision behind SteveGamesStudios. So now you can really understand why it's so important that you subscribe, because this community is still small, and I think this is a good idea, but for it to actually work, we need to grow this community even bigger, and I'm really looking forward to that. So after I have figured out the whole vision and plan behind my own indie studio, I really starting quickly to set everything up. The first thing that I decided for was the name. I wanted to do something with my own name, and so I came up with SteveGamesStudios. The next thing was the logo. I had a concept in mind, and a good friend of me helped me there. Here is his Instagram, so definitely go check him out. You see now on screen the different concepts and possibilities for the logo. At the end of the day, after asking my friends and family for their opinion, this logo here on the screen was the winner. If you think this was the right choice, leave a like here on this video. The next step was then to decide for 5 social media platforms, and after researching a little bit about my target audience, I decided for 5 platforms, including YouTube, Twitter, Threads, Instagram and TikTok. I did a quick setup on those platforms with a good description, and then on the 2nd of July I started posting some content there, including my first YouTube video. I kept continuing uploading content on every platform, but for me it was really clear in this early stage that I also need to think about some funding options, simply because my setup was and still is pretty low. The only upgrade that I could make was this microphone, and because my current financial situation is pretty limited, this microphone is not even paid off, and I'm thinking about sending it back to get the money. But of course, if you think that this microphone is a huge upgrade to the last one I had, just leave a comment and maybe your motivation will get me to think about some way how I can still keep this microphone and evolve here on this channel. And before you ask about funding possibilities, yes, there are some, but they are pretty limited, and there are just a few of them. A really important factor is of course here my location. So what you need to know is that I currently live here in Germany, NRW, and here in my region, for my specific idea, there are just a few limited options how to get some funding. One of them is, for example, the Gründerstipendium NRW. I already pitched for them, and I will tell you how it went at the end of the video. And though the funding options are pretty limited, I still wanted to get going and start with this project, because for me it is clear that those kind of opportunities happen only a few times in your life, and I really wanted to use it. One of the challenges in this context is that I only have 18 months for it to get going, because currently I'm studying e-commerce, and beginning with this month I'm now in my 5th semester. And obviously when I finish the study agreement, I need to have some kind of income so I can just continue living. That's why I just started to make videos, to make content on every social media platform. And the nice thing is, though I'm just here in my first 3 months, I already had some pretty nice highlights. One of the highlights was definitely just the release of my game concept. Because I make it community driven and the game concept is pretty open, I really could publish the concept fast on this YouTube channel. The game that I'm about to make with you is called Forms. It's an endless runner with 5 different characters, and the special thing is that the character dynamically changes, so the player is always in a new situation. At the end, this game will be fueled also with your ideas. I also think that the problem that I talked about earlier is a real thing, because one of the highlights was also the release of the video Gaming Isn't Fun Anymore, and the video got actually over 1000 views, a lot of interaction, and there were also people that agreed with my opinion. Another highlight was also the game engine comparison. This video got even over 2000 views. I would be happy if you view it here on the E. But the highlights are not only about the views or interactions, it's also about the people that you met. For me it was clear that if I want to be that kind of game company with the high social factor and community aspect, I need to connect with some people in the industries. A great company that I met there was Games for the Planet. They already have a game released, and the special thing about them is that they take the income of the game and put it into planting trees. So it's a really great thing. They've been open on a collaboration with me, even though they have a lot of more followers than I have. In general, I think it's really important to connect with people, so I also made another collaboration with the Instagram account called alicia.codes. And one of the last highlights were just the comments in general. For me, the best part of community management is the interaction with the people and answering to comments. I can say that so far I have answered every comment that I have got, because I think it's the most important thing here on social media. And I not only got great comments, but also great messages from people that believe in my idea from a really early stage, and I really appreciate it. They will definitely get a reward in my first game Forms, but I will also come to that in the next video, so stay tuned for that. So those were some of the highlights. In general, I can say that so far it has been an unbelievable experience, but to be honest with you, not only in a positive way, but also in a negative way. When we talk about the whole truth behind SteveGamesStudios, I need to say one thing clear. In the last 3 months, I have been working as much as never before. I'm completely at my limit. I have no free time at all, and it also comes down to my personal situation. Because what you need to know about me is that I'm not only having this company here, but I'm also studying e-commerce on the side. It's a study agreement that I didn't really choose. I just needed to do it because I got rejected from TH Köln when I tried to apply for game design. And before you say that I should just quit the study agreement, this is not an option for me, because at the end I have here my own apartment in NRW, and in Germany it works like this, that when you study and your family isn't rich, you can get BAföG. It's a monthly income that you get, and it really helps to cover the normal living expenses. If I would just stop studying, they wouldn't give me the BAföG anymore, and this would mean that I would be homeless in a second. So for me, this is just a personal challenge that I have, that I also need to study, make the exams, and also pass the exams, because if I take too long for the study degree, they will also cut my BAföG. From the people that I have spoken to and that I have listened on YouTube, I can say that making an indie dev studio in general is pretty hard, because you have to do, especially in the beginning, a lot of things at your own, and you have no workers because you have no money. But for me, it's even harder because I also have the study agreement on the side. So that is the reason why in the last 3 months I have been extremely near burnout. I had a lot of nights where I had to work until 2 a.m. in the morning, and then with just 6 hours or maybe even less hours of sleep, wake up again and get going with the same motivation and the same work ethic as the day before. I really hope that this is just a challenge on my way to success. But of course, this is not the only challenge that I have, because another fact is also that in the last 3 months I have also experienced failure, and not only one time but multiple times. One thing that we need to talk here, for example, is the Gründerstipendium NRW. Like I said before, I applied for it, I pitched for it, but at the end I didn't got it. There were different reasons behind it. I think one of the key factors is definitely the target audience, because the people that have been sitting there while I was pitching were definitely from the older generation, and I think they just didn't really get my idea, and they also didn't believe in me because they just saw a 20-year-old student who is dumb enough to follow their passion. Another big challenge for me in my current situation is definitely that I don't really have hope to get any earnings in this year. Of course, this is normal at the beginning of the business that you have to invest not only money. When I started 3 months ago, I had some hope that, for example, with social media platforms like TikTok, I could earn the first money really quickly. But after those first 3 months, I can say that social media is much more harder than many of you think. And sadly, TikTok is maybe the platform with the highest potential of earning something. But for me, it has been so far the platform where it was the hardest to grow the channel, because I feel like every video that I make just stops at 800 views, even though the interaction is sometimes pretty good. I have still some ideas how to fix that, but so far I can say that growing on TikTok was pretty damn hard. I really hope that I can learn from this failure and take it as motivation to keep going. But for now, I'm pretty clear about that this year is going to be pretty hard, also because of the factor that I probably will not get any income. One of the reasons is also the delay of the game that I will have. When I talked about my game concept forms, I was aiming to release the game on December this year, but the reality is that because of all the other challenges that I have right now, making the game will take more time than I expected. So that's why I decided to postpone the release of forms to August 2025, just to guarantee you that the game will be actually finished without any bugs, and when it will be released, you will instantly see the vision that I had behind this game, and you will be having a fun time playing forms. But because I don't want to end this video on a negative note, I want to talk about one last aspect, and that is that I still believe in the idea, and I really think that there is still light at the end of the tunnel, just like Uncle Eero said.
Sometimes life is like this dark tunnel. You can't always see the light at the end of the tunnel, but if you just keep moving, you will come to a better place.
So one big thing that really pushes me forward is, for example, the fact that I just got 6 months more time to realize the project. This is because a new rule from the government where you can actually study 6 months longer than you normally would need to. And you can be sure that I will definitely use those 6 months more to realize this vision of SteveGamesStudios. I think I have made some pretty good learnings in my first 3 months, and now I really know what I'm doing here. I know that it will be hard, and of course there will also be some haters, but comments like those here just motivate me even more. They are my fuel for this project. And at the end, it's one big promise that I made myself before I started this project. I promised myself that during the time where I will be making this project, I will give every day 120%. Because even if it fails, what is of course possible, I want to be able to say that I have given everything in order to make it work. And I think with this motivational speech at the end, I can make a good ending to this video and to the recap of my first 3 months of making my own video game company. This has been the journey so far. I hope you liked it, and I hope you also liked the video. If this is the case, of course, leave a like, leave a comment, and also don't forget to subscribe if you love the vision behind SteveGamesStudios, because like I said, this is also an opportunity for you to make a game with me, to get rewarded for your ideas, so we can really make the gaming world a better place for the future. Thanks for watching until the end. I wish you a great day, and remember, together we game.